I'm warning you, you are not the victim. You are the cause of this entire beef. You keep saying, my son, King Harris, disrespected your mother and crossed your line.
There's T Music, caught on live camera putting his own son in a headlock during an NFL game, for the world to witness. But that explosive clip was only the tip of the iceberg. The real chaos erupted when he went head-to-head with 50 Cent in a feud so intense and personal that when Tip made his next move, the entire hip-hop world was left in stunned silence. This wasn't just drama, it was a seismic shock to the culture.
You are the cause of this entire beef. You keep saying, my son, King Harris, disrespected your mother and crossed your line. But let me tell you something. If you can't stand people talking about your mother, then don't talk about it. I want 50. That's what I said. He don't want no smoke, though. Oh, no. I called my man that. He don't want no smoke.
The rap world's been lit lately, but no one expected this level of blow-up. What started as a casual Verzuz-style challenge between two legendary icons quickly spiraled into one of the nastiest, most personal beefs the game has seen in years. Moms were dragged, wives' names were thrown around, and even sons got pulled into the drama. No one was off limits. Reputations were getting shredded in group chats like it was an all-out free-for-all.
You were the first one to post my wife Tiny's private, embarrassing photos online, dragging a woman into the drama and using her as a weapon to humiliate her.
Music. And just when it seemed like T and 50 were destined to stay at each other's throats forever, T dropped the curveball. He actually reached out to apologize. But hold up, the apology wasn't the first headline. The path to that moment? Pure chaos. Diss tracks flying every which way, tensions hitting a boiling point. Posts popping up and vanishing, families getting dragged into the chaos, and clashes so intense that even the most battle-hardened rappers had to look away.
You're the one with no limits. King was just protecting his mom and spoke out of anger. You pushed him to it. You disrespected my family first, so don't you dare complain when we fire back.
So tell your mama dig her up and post a picture that look better than mama.
And just when you think it's all about 50 Cent, brace yourself. There's another storm brewing on the horizon. It all started when I ended up clashing with 50 Cent's own son, King Harris, and it went down live on camera. That clip spread like wildfire online, and people still can't stop replaying it. But to really understand how it blew up this big, you have to rewind to the early 2000s, when Tip and Fif were dominating the rap scene from opposite sides of the map. T repping Bankhead in Atlanta, 50 Cent holding it down in South Jamaica, Queens, both street certified, no fake personas, just real credibility. You say I can't control my kid, T said, but you can't even follow hip-hop's most basic rule. Never go after family. You agreed to face me, then ducked, hiding behind old stories. Ever wake up with a roach on your face? No? Then stop playing. For years, everything seemed smooth. Award shows, festivals, industry events, they'd cross paths without incident. Publicly, it was all smiles. Privately, tension was simmering like a pot about to boil over. Two lions in the same jungle, both convinced they're king. Neither built to play second fiddle. In a game measured by streams, features, and influence, the question always loomed. Who really runs this? The simmering storm came to the surface during the Verzuz era, when fans were hungry for legendary matchups. T claimed on a TV promo in Los Angeles that he and 50 Cent had a private handshake deal. T would issue the public challenge, 50 would accept, and the fans would finally get the showdown they'd been waiting for. But when the moment came, everything went silent. The calls stopped. Texts dried up. Ghosting in hip-hop isn't just disrespect, it's breaking the code. By February 2026, T had had enough. On the Nightcap podcast with Shannon Sharp and Ushinko, he unleashed years of pent-up frustration. Every word carried weight, every line deliberate. The clip went viral instantly, spreading across every feed. T called out 50 Cent by name, accusing him of ducking the fade. 50 responded almost immediately, firing back on Instagram with old court clips, a slick meme, and his signature LOL, turning T into a punchline before a single bar landed. But T wasn't laughing. Things escalated fast. By February 11th, 50 had dubbed T King Rat online, dragging up old snitching rumors from Tip's 2007 federal case. A label that sticks in hip-hop, worse than being irrelevant. T didn't flinch. He countered with conviction, calling out 50's cowardice, demanding a face-to-face showdown, and vowing to defend his family's honor. Fans devoured the exchanges, But everyone knew the real battle would be on wax. On February 22nd, T went on $1 million worth of game breaking down the private handshake, how the deal was supposed to go down, and how 50 suddenly acted like it never happened once Tip went public. That same week, T dropped his first diss track teaser, War, followed by the full record. A scorched earth attack that didn't just test 50's toughness, it dismantled the brand Curtis Jackson built. Every verse hit hard, personal, strategic. T called out 50 as an online troll, hiding behind his phone instead of facing him man-to-man. The shots were surgical, ruthless, and public. And then came the moment that split the hip-hop world. T.I. went right down the middle, crossing a line most battle rappers treat as untouchable. In one bar, he brought up 50 Cent's late mother, a move that shook the culture to its core. Half the internet praised Tip as fearless, going bar for bar with one of rap's sharpest wordsmiths. The other half recoiled, saying family should never be dragged into a war meant for just the two men. But if Tip's bars were the earthquake, 50's response was the aftershock that turned it nuclear. He posted an Instagram image of Tiny T.I.'s wife, with a chilling warning to keep his name out of their mouths. Suddenly, the battle was no longer just rap. It became deeply personal. That's when King Harris, T.I. and Tiny's son, stepped in. Nobody expected it, but King came in swinging. On Instagram Live, voice trembling with emotion, he made it crystal clear. His mother's name wasn't going to be disrespected. He spoke with raw intensity, defending his family like a man twice his age. His words went viral instantly. Fans saw it wasn't clout chasing, it was genuine. Every syllable carried real pain, anger, and loyalty. 50 Cent, in classic form, fired back with memes. King Harris was mocked online, compared to Pepe the Frog, and the family dragged into comedy. But then things took a cultural twist. Tina Knowles, Beyoncé's mother, publicly defended Tiny, expanding the conflict into something bigger than hip-hop drama. A full-blown cultural moment. By February 24th, 50 switched lanes entirely. While T.I. continued dropping lyrical grenades in the studio, 50 flexed in a different arena, announcing a sold-out Broadway run of Joe Turner's Come and Gone. No diss tracks needed. He let the achievement speak, delivering a silent uppercut that shifted the narrative. T.I., after 2 explosive tracks and crossing lines most wouldn't dare, was now watching 50 turn the battlefield into a status check. King Harris didn't sit back either. He called out 50's history of public feuds, framing him as someone who instigates drama for views and content, not principles. His statements ignited conversations across platforms, showing the next generation isn't afraid to challenge legacy power moves. Then, on February 25, 2026, 50 did the unthinkable. He wiped his Instagram clean of everything T.I. related. Memes, posts, captions gone. Fans speculated endlessly. Was it a retreat, a strategic reset, or a private negotiation behind the scenes? One thing was clear. This was 50 Cent, the man who never backs down, suddenly hitting the pause button on a war he fueled himself. And here's the twist nobody predicted. After days of verbal warfare, diss tracks, and memes, T.I. made a direct call to 50's team. No middlemen, no social media, just straight talk. Sources say the tone was surprisingly calm and genuine. Apology, yes, but not the kind that undermines a legacy. It was calculated, mature, and about respect. T.I. acknowledged the lines that shouldn't have been crossed, mothers, wives, and family, and took steps to de-escalate a battle that had gone too far. Because when two icons with legacies this deep drag family into the fight, it stops being entertainment. It becomes personal. And even legends know that's a line you never cross. There's a huge difference between losing respect for someone's actions and igniting a war that leaves destruction in its wake. T.I. knows that line better than most. He's navigated federal cases, served time, and rebuilt his empire more than once. But this time the fire was spreading too far. It wasn't just 50 Cent's reputation at stake, it was his entire family. The longer the drama raged, the greater the risk of it dragging King and Tiny into chaos, threatening to engulf everyone in T.I.'s circle. And for a man who prides himself on protecting his people, that math didn't add up. The cost outweighed the fight. The shift was subtle but strategic. The day 50 Cent wiped his Instagram of every post about T.I., rumors swirled that Tip had reached out behind the scenes. Think about it. If you're 50 Cent and the same man who's been hitting hard for 3 weeks suddenly extends an olive branch, what do? You don't post another meme. You clear the field. You delete the evidence. You make space for what comes next: peace, a business move, or simply silence. Since February 25th, neither side has thrown a single jab or dropped a post. For two men who had traded shots daily like clockwork, that silence speaks volumes. It isn't surrender, it's strategy. Skeptics are already weighing the timing. T.I.'s final album, Swan Song, Kill the King, is on the horizon, and some think the entire feud, from the Verzuz call-out to the diss tracks to the apology, was a masterclass in promo. Staged rivalries have long driven album hype, and if anyone understands the game, it's T.I. Every headline, every repost, every viral comment fuels buzz for a record that hasn't even dropped. Whether strategy or sincerity, T.I.'s move matters. Culture rarely sees a public battle hit pause, especially in hip-hop, where ego and pride usually push conflicts past the point of no return. But the 50 Cent saga isn't the first time T.I. has faced storms too close to home. 2 years before Verzuz, on November 26, 2023, a routine family outing to watch the Atlanta Falcons turn into a viral showdown. What began as a casual father-son moment exploded into a live argument. King Harris went live on Instagram, and the world witnessed a private family dispute captured in real time. A dad and son, love and pride clashing under the harsh gaze of millions. T.I. challenged his son directly, asking if he'd ever truly felt the struggle that forged his father's life. The now famous Roach question wasn't an insult, it was a test. Tip wanted King to understand the difference between playing at toughness for social media and surviving the streets for real. Pride wasn't the point, reality was. T.I. was cutting through the performance to teach lessons his son needed to hear, no matter how uncomfortable or public. King didn't back down. He refused the role of celebrity kid living in the shadow of his father. His response was raw, emotional, and fierce. "I stand on business," he declared, a phrase that became his personal anthem, a line in the sand, a declaration of independence. Millions watched as a young man, under immense pressure, asserted that he wasn't spoiled, he wasn't soft, and he was built to handle his own path. Words escalated to movement. What started as verbal tension exploded physically. A shove, a heated scuffle, a father and son confronting love, legacy, and identity in real time. The moment wasn't just entertainment. It was a glimpse into the complicated, high-stakes world of family under a public microscope, where the lessons of survival, respect, and independence collide in front of millions. The argument quickly escalated into physical tension. Music. T.I.'s reaction, grabbing his son and holding him, wasn't about anger. It was instinct meeting emotion. A father trying to regain control while pride, frustration, and love collided all at once. What the world saw as aggression was far more complex. A raw, messy, unfiltered look at family navigating love, ego, and generational fire. When words failed, physical authority became the only language left. That was T.I.'s breaking point. Just 6 seconds of footage captured the struggle, and it quickly went viral. T.I. wasn't trying to harm King. He was trying to contain him, to prevent the situation from spiraling further out of control. But the optics were intense. A Grammy-winning rapper, a man who survived the federal system and rebuilt his career, now locked in a tense moment with his own child in a luxury suite at an NFL game. Tiny stepped in quickly, separating father and son, bringing calm to the chaos. The suite went silent. A heavy stillness that felt like the air itself was holding its breath. King Harris immediately went to Instagram, posting raw emotion, pain, defiance, and pride all at once. He made it clear no one could intimidate him, even his father. Beneath the surface, though, there was heartbreak. A young man questioning his place in his own family, wondering if his efforts were seen or appreciated. His post didn't last long before being deleted, but it was too late. The internet had already archived and spread every word across forums and gossip sites. T.I.'s response was calm, measured. He told the world this was family business, not entertainment. What went down between him and King was private, and no amount of public scrutiny could change that. This wasn't an isolated incident either. Reports show a previous clash at a Waffle House in 2022, suggesting a pattern of tension. King's desire for independence versus T.I.'s instinct to protect and control. Even after the Falcons game incident, King refused to back down. He doubled down, standing firm that his toughness was real, not for social media. He wasn't proving himself to the world. He was proving it to himself and to the father who raised him. He was carving out his own identity, separate from T.I.'s legacy, asserting that he was his own man. Over time, the energy shifted from conflict to connection. T.I. made it clear publicly that his love for King was unshakable, promising to ride for his family through anything. He even promoted King's music, highlighting his track Father Like Sons, showing that their bond, while bruised, remained intact. By 2025, King reflected publicly on his growth, acknowledging he was becoming the man his father raised him to be, and that they were finally seeing eye to eye. What started as a public viral showdown became a story of healing, family, and understanding, proof that even the wildest moments can become turning points. The world watched in stunned silence as a private father-son moment went viral. November 26, 2023. A day that started as a simple Atlanta Falcons outing for T.I. and his family, suddenly turned into a cultural flashpoint. What unfolded inside the Mercedes-Benz Stadium suite wasn't just a disagreement. It was a collision of pride, legacy, and generational tension, streamed live for millions to witness. T.I., a Grammy-winning rapper who had battled the toughest trials life could throw at him, found himself at an emotional crossroads. Across from him stood King Harris, his eldest son, asserting independence in a way that challenged every lesson his father had instilled. The clash was raw, real, and messy, a glimpse into what fame does to family, and what love can look like under pressure. T.I. is no stranger to high-stakes pressure. From surviving federal cases to rebuilding his career multiple times, he's weathered storms most people can't imagine. But this moment, it was different. This wasn't just about public perception or reputation. This was personal. The tension between T.I. and King had been simmering for years. Past incidents hinted at a recurring dynamic: King's desire for independence versus T.I.'s instinct to protect. But now, with cameras rolling and the world watching, every word, every action, every hesitation was amplified. What was once private had become a spectacle. What began as a playful family day rapidly escalated. King Harris went live on Instagram from the suite, capturing the argument as it unfolded. T.I., feeling the words no longer reached his son, reacted instinctively. Grabbing King, he attempted to contain the situation, not to harm, but to prevent escalation. Tiny, ever the stabilizing presence, stepped between them, bringing a moment of calm to the storm. The silence that followed felt almost tangible, a pause heavy with emotion. Yet, the aftermath was unavoidable. Screenshots, clips, and commentary spread across social media within minutes. The public had witnessed an intimate moment of fatherly discipline collide with teenage defiance. King's response was immediate and fierce. On Instagram stories, he expressed defiance, pride, and pain all at once. He wasn't performing for views, he was asserting his identity, challenging both his father and the expectations placed on him. "I stand on business," became a mantra, signaling his determination to define himself independently of his father's legacy. Fans and critics debated endlessly. Was this rebellion, disrespect, or a natural assertion of self in the shadow of a larger-than-life parent? King's courage, vulnerability, and raw emotion resonated deeply, sparking conversations about fatherhood, fame, and the pressures of growing up in a spotlight. Social media erupted. Clips went viral on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. Hip-hop blogs and gossip forums dissected every angle. Some condemned T.I., claiming he overstepped boundaries. Others defended him, emphasizing his role as a father trying to teach life lessons. The debate wasn't just about this one incident. It became a lens through which audiences examined fame, family, and generational expectations. Industry insiders began connecting the dots. This wasn't T.I.'s first public struggle with a child asserting independence. Past incidents at restaurants and smaller outings suggested a pattern, highlighting the ongoing balance between parental authority and respect for a young adult's autonomy.